Sweetest of afternoons, everybody. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And
Hi.
I'm Joey Evans.
Sorry.
You kind of...
I said hi. Sorry.
Don't ever say hi.
Go ahead. Say your name again. Hi.
I'm Joey Evans.
Hey, it's convention season. We're talking about conventions. Well, some of the stuff I like to do at conventions is play games, or I don't want to spoil this list
There goes
here.
my 1 through 4.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But one of the things we do, we're getting ready for Dice Tower East, and one of the things we have at Dice Tower East is we have a lot of play mats.
There goes my number 5.
Games
Jeez.
on, and we want to say thanks to Grip Mats, one of our sponsors. If you want to get some great play mats,
Yep.
you can get them from them. They have play mats for specific games, or just a way to finally pick up those cards off the table.
And to keep things from moving around, too. You can get them with that cool grippy finish to keep tiles and various things like that from sliding.
You ever throw a card on the table
matting.
and it goes all the way off the other side?
Oh, yeah. No, the grip mat, I don't.
Start this out a little.
Has this ever happened to you? Oh!
We're going to turn it into black and white.
And if you want the board game bliss, I'm sorry, if you want the board games to play on those mats, then Board Game Bliss, fantastic. Every month we talk about the best-selling games from Board Game Bliss, and they really are one of the best board game stores in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're talking about things to do at a con, or it's our top 10 favorite things to do at a con, more
Yes.
specifically.
Right,
we're not
right,
giving
right.
you a list of things you must do. These are things I like to do
These
at
are
a
the
con.
only 10 things I do at a con.
But I'm also not
Are you including things like sleep,
Yeah, that's my number one.
have a nice snack?
That's 4.
You don't sleep at cons very much.
I'm getting better now.
Are you one of those people who burns it?
No, I
burns
used
that
to.
midnight
Dice
oil?
Tower West 2 years ago, just it changed me. Because I was so tired when I got there, and I was on such a negative that I'm like, I can't stay up late anymore.
Yeah.
Then I realized people are up at 8 a.m. playing games.
I'm telling you,
Tom's been up like 3 hours by then.
no, but no joke.
Yes.
I keep the exact same schedule. I go to bed the same time I go the rest of the year and get up, and it just makes it better. It
That's
really
fair.
does.
That's fair.
That's, yeah.
The trickier thing about cons is meals or times are usually off. I like to eat meals at specific times, and that's harder to do at a con.
Right.
But these are our favorite things to do at a con, and we're not just talking Dice Tower cons. We have Dice Tower East coming up next week. But
What?
Gen
Shameless
Con,
plug.
I just was at Origins. That would put me in the mind of things I like to do there.
Named
Mine are only Dice Tower East.
That's all I ever go to.
Are they?
They're all things I intend to do at Dice Tower East, and they can all be done there, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
They apply, obviously, to other conventions, but I can do all these at Dice Tower East.
Dude. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start.
Okay, it's me. You want to say anything, Z? All right, my number 10.
Hello.
Now, this is probably, it's funny this is so low because this used to be my number one thing to see. But it's honestly to walk out and, hey, I like other things more now.
I want to hear
I've
this.
evolved as a person. This is surprising to you.
All
but
right,
I have.
Pokemon, calm down.
This is. So I like to demo and see the new games. You know?
This is only your 10.
It is.
Demo? Is it because you work here now?
Yeah, it kind of.
100.
It
It is
kind of broke me.
100% a side
Yes.
effect of. I think this might be a lot of people's number one,
It was.
but through an embarrassment of riches, we work here and therefore get to play a lot of new games.
It really is it. Now, before I worked here, going to Gen Con and things, it was like, wow, what are they going to announce? I remember when Hail Hydra came out.
Can I correct you though? You said before I worked here, before you came here every day.
Yeah. Wow. It hurts. It hurts in my heart of hearts. You're still grudgy from the game today. Oh, yeah. Before, I remember they announced Hail Hydra in this really fun way where I had to go to like some place at the mall, like GameStop, whatever. They had it all decked out and Hail Hydra stuff. It's cool how they announce these things a lot of
cool.
times,
I remember that.
And then also the prototypes, because at that point I didn't know it was coming out, and you're excited to see these new games, And then also the one round of demo, which always feels it's not fulfilling at all to play one round and then you're like, you're out. But it's still, you get a taste of that.
Yeah.
So I
On that
enjoy
note,
that.
Z mentioned the embarrassment of riches. This is a thing. People come up to us and say, what's the hot game that you found here? What have you found that blew your mind game-wise? I'm like,
It's hard to answer. We've
so
seen
many
it
of these
maybe
games,
a
so it's
couple weeks
confusing.
ago.
We're not trying to, and I don't want to downplay your excitement
No,
for
not
that.
at all,
I just
yeah.
don't know off the top of my head.
I agree.
No.
It's hard to know what's new right there because we might have seen it a little early or yeah.
Right. But sometimes they hit you with something that'll be out at the next convention. They kind of, so you get to play it there. So anyway, I still enjoy those demos, and sometimes things fly under our radar. You know, and it's like, wow, I did not see that coming. Yeah, so that's exciting for me.
I think my number 11, if I had to give a bonus, is like reveals of stuff.
Yes.
Like seeing like, oh, this is a surprise thing for sale here.
Right.
It's harder for companies to do that these days. It's almost never done. Like Gen Con used to be always, ooh, do you think Fantasy Flight will have a new game?
Yes. They would have the cool new announcement halfway through the convention.
Oh,
Yes.
or it's even better when they announce something going on a cruise ship, and then all of a sudden it's there the next day, and people are like, how did FinSpan get here?
That was a very, very specific
It
example.
was. So,
I get it,
I love
I
those
get it.
announcements.
All right, my number 10 is, it's my number 10 because it's, very personal. I don't think it's going to apply to a lot of people. And it's a quirk of mine. It's a thing I like to do because it takes me a little bit to kind of warm up to gaming. So my number 10 is actually wandering around the gaming space, watching people play games, and warming up to being in such a different place and feel than my everyday life, right? So you'll see me doing this a lot if you see me at Dice Tower East next week. I will kind of wander around a lot. I'll be like
He's
looking.
not lost.
I'm not lost. I'm just kind of taking in the environment. You know what I mean? I'm like watching people play, seeing what's being played, getting ready to sit down and jump into something myself. I don't have that like as ready to go as like Tom can just be like, bam, we're playing a game, and I'm not as good at that.
Right.
So plus I like seeing everybody playing games. You know.
I do too. I wish I would have thought of this. I can't believe I didn't think of something here. But it is fun to get up from a game and then see what everyone else is playing, because then it gives you happiness in like a game you've forgotten about. You're like, oh wow, you're playing this.
And it also will it's a lot of things. It's mostly me, like I said, warming up to getting ready to play.
Get your bearings.
But it also lets me know like, oh yeah, I might want to play that.
Yeah.
Or kind of observe how something plays, just to get going almost, like to prime the pump a little bit. So that's my number 10.
All right, my number 10 is a crossover
Already.
Really?
with Z.
Oh, that's
it's not
unfortunate.
quite the same, but mine is watching people play good games. And I
Wow.
I was not expecting the
Wow.
crossover to be with me.
No.
No,
I was
but-
definitely like, oh, okay.
No, I like
Wow.
going through cons and seeing people play fun. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad to see people playing Puerto Rico. I'm so glad
Yeah.
to see this game being played. It makes me happy to see that. But not just that, good games. I like watching, Origins does, watching people play Crokinole at a level I cannot attain to.
Sure.
Yeah.
I played, one guy's like, come on, just play one game. So I played a game after he demolished me. He told me he was like 6th in the world of Crokinole. I was like, well, you probably should have led with that. Because at the beginning
Really?
he shot, and I felt like he was shooting back. I was like, do not take it easy on me. And I regretted that for the rest of the game, saying that. Anyway, but I like watching that sort of thing.
Wow.
I love watching
crazy.
people who are playing a gigantic war game. You walk up and you're really into it.
Yeah.
That just makes me happy.
I agree.
I like watching people play diplomacy. I hate diplomacy, but
Yeah.
I'm glad they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
and I
call
like
those good
walking around
games.
and seeing all these games being played. It's one of my favorite things to do.
No, I agree.
I think for me, I like seeing people play games that I don't like, actually.
I agree.
That's what I'm
War
saying.
gamers especially,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Because
but it's
their
like,
terrain is great.
you said good games, and diplomacy is a good game whether you like it or not. But I also enjoy seeing people play bad games, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm glad somebody's playing that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because
guess
we sometimes give things negative reviews, but it shouldn't invalidate you enjoying that thing. And when
Exactly.
you are enjoying it, I'm like, good on you.
Right.
Don't not do it because we told you not to. You know. That's all.
All right, it's number 10.
We'll go.
All right, my number 9, and this is one that came to my mind immediately. This is, let's see, hold on. All right, yeah. Big party games.
Yeah.
This is a great place to be. Normally these tend to be later in the day after you play a couple of heady games, So then you pull out Just One, Green Team Wins, and all that. And it's great because the majority of people have played these games before.
Yeah.
It hits a table, you're like, all right, we're doing this now. And another thing, Gen Con, I always walk through the hallways and I was playing Werewolf. My goal is to sometime jump into one of those games of Werewolf.
You've never done anything
I
like
never
that?
have. I played Werewolf, but not like there,
Well, they've all been eaten, though.
They
by Blood in the Clock Tower people.
that's not on my desire list, by the way. No, that's
It's true. Like there was a werewolf group in Blood in the Clock Tower. Like
yeah. I have
suck up like 4 of them.
Blood Tower team wins.
I have no desire. But
You said that everyone knows how to play them. It doesn't matter though.
no, it doesn't.
Because
But
anyone can learn these like in 2 seconds.
I agree, but it's fun because people have their favorite party games to pull out, you know?
Yeah.
So I love doing that. And again, someday I want to jump into a game of werewolf because I think that just sounds like fun. So the big party games where that's a great place
This is a
for
good
it.
one. I didn't do it. I'm glad it's your number 10.
9.
As
10.
it shows in the
10.
PowerPoint.
It is my turn. I have 2 10s.
Nice.
Can't wait to see what
They're all
eights
going
I
to be
have.
10.
You're 9 now, though.
My number 9.
Ah, you got 2 10s.
My number 9 is similar. It is playing a one-shot game. And by that I mean like you can go play an unlock game. And it's perfect at conventions because you don't
really?
have to buy
Good
that
idea.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, conventions are great for That's
Or
wow.
arcs.
Wow. Okay. Not what I meant.
Well, you'll probably play it once if you ever play it.
I guess so. That's not quite what I meant by that, but maybe he didn't understand. Yeah, like Unlock or something like that. We have quite a few of them actually in the Dice Tower library, and you play them once, you don't play them again.
Right.
So come and play them from our library. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
you can set this up. It'll be, I was going to say free, but included, let's call it. But then you don't have to buy the thing. You put it right back on the shelf and you're good. You've experienced that thing already. And I like that. They're not all.
a good idea.
You can. It's not possible to do everything like that. Like an exit game, you can do that. It destroys itself. But Unlock is a great example of this. So anything one shot, either somebody else brought it, and I'm going to experience it once and that's it because it's not replayable, or a whodunit type thing, or an Unlock. They're great for conventions. So, yeah, my number 9, one of those.
Do you ever have anybody walk up behind you that has played it and be like, "Oof"?
I have not had that happen, but I would not be happy if it did, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be real
Have
jerky.
you guys found the clown yet? Oh, no? There is no clown.
Yeah, right.
Different game. Sorry.
Take the plunger. Definitely take the plunger.
That's always my philosophy.
That's actually a code phrase for us, for sure. My number 9 is very similar to my number 10. And this is, I like to go to cons. And this is more of the big cons, I think. I just like to crowd watch. I really do. I'll sit on a bench somewhere and just watch people go by and look at all the, sometimes the cosplay, but not just the cosplay, like the people carrying huge bags, the people doing, I don't know. I like seeing crowds move in and out. And again, this is more for big ones, but smaller cons I like to crowd watch too.
Yeah,
I just like
yeah.
to watch people just kind of just see this living beast move around me.
Small cons are even better. We went here in Fort Myers Space Con, and they have cosplayers that they're not ready for
when is
Gen
this?
Con. No. I'm saying crowd watching.
When is Space Con?
2 weekends ago. I forgot. I didn't tell you guys. I know.
Are you kidding me, dude?
I know. I feel bad. I
This
know.
is unbelievable. And that was the last one.
I had nothing to do that weekend.
Yeah, I know.
I have nothing to do every weekend,
Sorry,
Joey.
I knew when I saw it. I was like,
Oh,
you should let
that's
people
it.
know.
I'm going to haunt you.
Wait, did you go?
No, I didn't. I did not go.
That'd be worse.
That'd be really bad.
I did not go. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, never mind. I
No one
said
even
nothing.
is listening to what I said anymore. We're all bad.
I know. Sorry. Number 8 is Space Con. If you've missed it, it's unbelievable. All right. No. My number 8, I watch a lot of movies, right? Because I like to be entertained. I like to turn my mind off sometimes.
He's easily entertained is what he means.
I am very
He
easily
watches a
entertained.
lot of dumb movies, to be
You
fair.
know what? That's going to make what I'm about to say even so much better. So I like to watch live shows and panels. So this right here, because when you do play a game, you want to take that break. Going to see those live shows and panels and things, it's a great way to just sit there. You're still in the industry. You still see what's going
Are
on.
you watching yourself?
That's
in
a
that
good
picture?
I did
crowd.
not pick the photo. That's very Last Supper, by the way, isn't it?
Crowd.
That is a little.
It is.
It is a little Last Supper-esque there.
Like, sit down, Jesus. He's like, it's, yeah. So anyway, so I like to do that. I did it again long before I started working here. And of course, Dice Tower, we have the top 10s.
Yeah.
We have things like that. But those are always fun to watch. And the game shows, even like Gen Con, they have the little movie rooms. Have you seen those? They show like people's like the low budget ones.
Be careful though. Some of those movies are pretty bad.
Are they?
In every way possible.
Oh yeah, I saw like a stop action like Army Man thing that we could have all filmed. By the way,
When you say pretty bad, you mean like adult bad?
Every which way.
really? Okay, I haven't done that.
Where?
I just got
These Army Men kept.
Where?
Oh yeah. So anyway, the live shows and panels are great because I always look to see what's going on during those.
This would have been a good one. I did not think of because I'm like not often like not in it like at our own events, so I don't think of it the other way too much. But yeah, this is a good choice. I should have maybe thought of it.
I like the live. I almost put on the live stuff that flitters around. It's almost only Gen Con that really happens at. Like the live entertainment.
Oh, you like
sort
that?
of thing.
I'm not a huge fan of that, actually.
Well, it's not in my face, but I'm always amused by it.
Yeah.
Live magic shows and things. You
No,
mean?
like you walk by,
No,
it's
I
like
hate that
three
stuff.
people like playing a banjo, the same banjo.
Oh yes, I like when they're dressed like Klingons. You see
playing
Yes.
music. Yeah.
Ah,
The Klingon, they walk through Gen Con and they just
oh,
sing
I love the
doleful
Klingon
songs.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing the exact same outfit.
Best part. Wow.
I'm wearing the same
Am I
hat
too?
with the same shirt, and the undershirt I'm guessing is different.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not in that picture.
No. Best part is the Klingons also broke and they're selling their CD of them playing the Klingon.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
this is
yes.
wonderful.
That's the part that always I'm like, wow, I'm glad you guys are doing this. Would you like to buy a CD? I would not.
I just wanted to thank
I'm glad
you.
you're here, and I think it's fun for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And I don't want to buy the CD. I feel bad. Also, who buys CDs these days? Bye. Woo!
Exactly. You got the MP3, we can talk. All right, my number 8 is similar to what Joey said. Mine is specifically staying up late and playing a loopy party game or
Yes.
something like
Oh,
that.
this is better. I like the loopy part.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something goofy. It's
Loopy-bo.
after a long day of gaming or other stuff, and you're at that point where you can decide I can either go to bed or maybe I'll get into one more probably dumb thing. You know what I mean? And oftentimes I do just call it, but every now and then you make the right choice and you're like, let's do one more, and it turns out to be great. Because
right
you're
choice-
kind of tired, you're not all there, and then it's either always a really dumb party game or the exact opposite, a very thinky deduction game, which somehow becomes a great party game.
Have you ever?
But you shouldn't do a serious Euro game.
No,
or big
no,
game.
you're just a grump
That's
if you do that,
terrible
yeah.
if you do that.
Have you ever retried? I remember 6 Nimps. I think I played in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. I was like, "This is the greatest game I've ever played in my life." Next day, it is not. You know,
Six Nimmt is great.
It's good,
but
but it's not like
I
you
get
laugh
it.
so much because
your filter's not quite on. You know, you're just seeing things differently.
yes,
Yeah.
which I love that. at
I
the
do
moment, you know?
too, in moderation, right?
Right.
This is very, very fun in moderation, and it doesn't even happen at every convention for me. But when it does, it is memorable.
It is, yeah, definitely.
So that's my
I'm going
eight.
to play the fries game at night.
Oh, every night. Yeah, that's
For 5 seconds. All right, my number 8 is learning new games. This is an obvious one, but I like to do it at cons. I like to teach games I already know, but I like to learn new stuff. To be fair, most of the time it's me learning it from a rule book, but I love the joy of experiencing a new with other people.
yeah.
And I like when we all go, this is a really good game. Or it's also funny when everyone's like, this is so bad. I can't believe we're playing this. But we're having a good time.
This
That's I don't know that I can say much more about it than that.
This is more of a. This is one that would not be because learning one as people are watching you, waiting for you to learn it. I
Don't
that's
bother
not
me at
good.
all.
Oh, I know.
Thank you.
It's. I like being taught a new game.
That's it.
No. All right.
There's so many jerky statements you'll never know Joey says off camera.
Right in between. In between
Every
the
time.
numbers is him basically just at us.
It's like he's such a nice guy.
It's such, yeah. Only when the camera's rolling.
I almost haven't enough time to wipe the tears away.
Oh, my number 7 is I think a crossover with Tom. This is something I love to do at the cons, and that's cosplayers and people watch. So I kind of put these together.
I
do
just want
like
people watching because yours sounds more creepy.
Okay,
Well-
first of all, people. Okay, not my photo. Not my photo. I
Good
could
job,
have
Andrew.
sent you a
I love
photo.
how she's also
on this.
playing Uno.
What
This is wild. This
is
is a wild
happening
picture.
right now? You made it so much worse, Andrew.
This is from.
What is happening? Ask for a photo.
I like it.
You
It's
know what?
like really. It's like a
Whatever.
weird like Mad Hatter's
What is-
party, but they're playing Uno.
It's at a Playboy Mansion.
Fine. It makes my next thing that my daughter loves seeing the cosplayers so much worse when it's that photo.
I do
Anyway.
remember we were at Gen Con and I joined you.
Yes.
I happened to be like around you when this was happening, and I'm like, sure, I'll sit with you guys. It was you and your wife and the kids. And
This was
whatever.
great.
And I filmed the whole thing going by. I was just laughing. It's not something I do normally, but I did it there and I did enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. We pulled Z in front row, by the way, because my daughter gets there
Yeah.
like an hour early. So Z's sitting front row for the cosplay parade. I forgot his comment afterward. My wife and I laughed so much. It was kind of like, because there were some hills and valleys in it, you know? Some people
Because
like...
it grew people together. That's the thing. Like if you are Mario from Super Mario,
it's great.
they'll group you up with the other Marios, and they really should not do that.
It's not fair because one person will have a blue shirt and a red hat, and that's it.
That's
Yeah.
And then next to a guy who, like, professionally.
Yeah, there's one guy who's like,
Hollywood made it.
woohoo, and he's jumping and stuff, and then somebody else who has like a shirt that says Mario on it, and I'm like,
Smoking a cigarette. Like, I'm glad I'm here.
wow, yeah, it's very entertaining.
Feel free to move on from that picture, Chris.
This
Wow.
picture is my number 7. No.
Unbelievable.
All right, my number 7 is playing a convention game, which is basically anything. I call it a convention game when it is something that's too big to own,
Yeah.
too
rare
like,
to own? Like,
a giant version of something.
too rare to own, too, you think? Like,
Maybe too rare to own would work, yeah. Like a giant pitch car, which you do at basically every convention that you run. Like the Stay Cool would also be a good one for that, though that's more of a party game. Big stuff. You go through, one space in That's Our East is going to have, this hallway is going to have these big convention games that are giant wooden things you would probably not own or want to own, honestly. You want to play them for the 4 days you're there.
Right.
And then you don't really want to think about them anymore.
Yeah.
Until next year. I like that. I like that there's those kinds of experiences available.
Yeah.
There's going to be a giant pandemic thing this year at Dice Tower East. I just want to see what that looks like, you know? I just want to go and check it out. I mean, what's this going to be? That kind of stuff. The giant versions of things.
remember,
Flip ships being up there makes me wish there was a giant flip ship.
that would be fantastic.
Can you imagine that?
I would
have
love
to, like,
that.
It's like a disc the size of a pizza.
Oh, that would be...
Nah, you got to, like, have a little thing like this where you press a button.
So amazing.
Save it.
That would be so good.
Oh,
Did you
man.
play that big Seven Wonders Architects that Stefan brought, I guess, to East a couple years
I
ago?
think I've seen that.
It's really awesome. You're just building an actual monument.
Not the actual monument,
No,
certainly.
it's life size. I haven't seen
Why
the
are
real.
the pyramids of Giza inside the hall
To my defense,
again?
I haven't seen the real ones. I just assume it was life size.
They're about that big.
That's what I was thinking. Like Mona Lisa.
I like going to Washington, D.C. to the Smithsonian Institute. They have, I think,
For
13 different museums.
Yeah.
And everyone goes to 3 of them. The Air
Air
and
and
Space,
Space,
yes.
History, and the National... the
Natural history.
one with the animals. Natural
animal,
history.
National history.
natural history.
And then there's a
Yes.
few other
Museum.
small good ones, but then the rest are all art.
Yes.
And I went with my son, and it was really boring.
Yes.
There's some good art. I just don't appreciate it, I guess,
You do
and I
not.
apologize. But at a con, I'm always hunting art.
Oh, this is a good pick.
I do love to find art at conventions.
very good pick.
Every con I go to that has an art alley, there's a very good chance I'll buy it. It's the only place I'll buy art, and I just like it.
If you tape a banana to a wall, Tom's buying it.
No, but if you tape a banana to a wall and it's somehow nerdy involved, then
That
I
is
agree.
true.
If
That
there's
is
a
true.
banana taped to a wall that's wearing a Darth Vader helmet, Tom would be like, I'll take a print of that.
I am pretty picky though. It needs to like really jump
I
out
agree.
at me. But it's so much fun because I like so much of it.
No, yeah.
I always feel a little guilty when you go to one of those art museums. People are like, wasn't that great? Like,
Sure.
and then they look at you like you're uncultured swine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gen X has grown up, and now our art is this.
Yes.
At least the nerds of us, which is a lot of people. Anyway, I
Lot
really
of
this
nerds.
is my favorite thing. I spent hours at Origins looking
This
for
is
art.
your seventh favorite.
Yeah, not even
What
close.
did I say? What?
It's your
This is my favorite thing.
Well, when I'm thinking about it, it is.
Okay,
like
okay,
jumps to
okay,
number
okay.
one. You know how that works sometimes.
I
Sometimes
guess
it's your
that's
number
true.
one.
No, this is a great pick. I can't believe I didn't think of it.
It's good. Huh.
Did you see Chris trying to outsnob me there? Like, the
Smithsonian.
Oh, the
Smithsonian's
artwork
are
at the Smithsonian is
amazing.
great. It's
Oh.
amazing art.
How did you type
I
that?
know about art.
Pinky's out so much. All right. Here we go. My number 6. I have bad FOMO when I have like Kickstarters. Things. I don't know if
no,
anyone
about
noticed that.
everything.
I
You
do.
kind of do. Yeah, you're FOMO-licious.
So this is another thing that used to always be very fun for me. Still is, but that is the hunt for promos. I love promos.
This is
Things
not
that
on
are
my list at all.
Oh, this is and promos have see right there. It should be on your list.
That's our booth.
People, I know. People love finding this. I have had so many promos that I've gotten, and I've gotten the game afterwards. You know, it just works. And the big. Oh,
What are we laughing at?
Yes. Look at the promo in the
Which was-
corner.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez. I did
yes.
not notice that.
oh, that one is the only one I got rid of, by the way, which is weird.
I'll never live that down. I'll
No.
never financially recover from it.
No, this is good. A
That's
lot
the
of them.
best promo right
They-
there, guys, okay? Rum and Bones, first edition.
They're hard to get.
Zee the Poet Tyrant.
They are hard
Promo.
to get.
Unless you come to one of our events.
These
Tom
are,
will throw one at you.
This is a big. Normally they're not game changing. Never Z's. And there was a couple for like Thanos Rising that were really good. but-
Really? They have
yeah.
promos for that?
They did.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do
so
like
anyway,
promos.
Finding the promos, I do love finding those. And not didn't have big ones like the Godzilla thing over the Comic Con, all that. So yeah,
This is one I've cooled on for sure.
I have two.
I used to really like getting a promo was super, super exciting.
Yes.
Again, I think it's a side effect of maybe working here or
Right.
just more involvement in the hobby. I've kind of cooled on it.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, it's not like we have access to these promos necessarily.
No.
I'll see a promo and I'm like, you can get that. And I think, does it change the game a lot? How?
I agree. I've kind of just cooled on it. Yeah. Oh, see, Pete Shirey knows what's up. He has a little plastic Z on his desk.
oh, it's not that one.
That's how you do it. oh. I thought I pulled that STL offline. That STL is still out there. Where are we at? My number 6. Yes, my number 6 is something I will definitely be doing at Dice Tower East, and it's something I discovered not very long ago, but I've been enjoying doing it, and this is if they have an area for a paint and take to go visit that area
yeah.
and paint a little miniature and take that thing with me. I don't always keep it afterwards, to be fair, but I really enjoy how
It's a good
different that
one.
area feels to just about everything else going on.
It's a good is it like almost like
Yeah.
an oasis of
Yeah,
calm?
yeah. It's like a nice little. It's a break. I'm still doing something geeky. I'm painting something with very low stakes.
Yeah.
Like if I'm painting a miniature for my own game,
Right.
I'm like, not really, but you know what I mean. There's like stakes involved. I want to get it right. For this, I can just kind of go wild. I can experiment with something I wouldn't normally do. I'm like, this dude's pants are going to be 12 colors. Here we go. You know what I mean? I'm going to do something weird. And I enjoy that very much. I like just the paint and take areas are very cool. Everybody in there is super chill. You can tell that people paint to relax because
Right.
it is the most relaxed area in any convention.
Which is why I wish I could paint better.
But you don't need to if you go to this.
That's true.
the
That is
beauty.
true. Yeah.
You should 100. Have you done this paint and
I have
take
not.
stuff ever?
I need
You
to.
should
My family
100% do
has.
it next week.
All right.
Actually, I think one of the best
there
ways
is
to
one?
paint and take is Gen Con because Gen Con is such a loud con.
Yeah, the break there feels like more of a break, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, paint and take for me. Love doing it.
It's a really
My
good
number
one.
1.
My
Or
number 6 is
six
almost a
sometimes.
crossover with Z. Thank you. Sort of. I like to go around and look at giant games / terrain. Now, this was very evident at Origins, but it could just be someone who brought in their own copy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did you do? Wow.
What did you do?
Not that. What? Oh, they burned it all. They blew it all up. No, but I just like to see giant games. I like when you sit there, you're like, I can't believe someone took this game and made it huge or life size.
Right.
Publishers will often do it as their promo for their game.
Right.
And I think that's really cool. I don't know. There's just something about those huge games that really attracts me. I would not want to own any, although I do own some, but we only use them at
quite a few.
cons.
Sure.
Cons is the place to go do this, to play these giant games, to check them out. And even if I'm not going to play it, like miniature games. I love going to look at what those miniature gamers have done. They've built this huge mountain,
Their
and there's
terrain is
forces
great.
moving up, and you're like, that's amazing.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's my number 6.
Nice.
Number 5. Hold on, I gotta see my number 5. Oh yeah, this one I feel bad because I did not separate them like everyone else at the table did apparently. But my number 5
mean
is
you
sort of a
didn't
crossover. Well, this is just shop. I put like I did not divide these.
No, we don't. Well, we know you.
I
shop.
mean,
What does it matter? Mike
this
Keller
is-
said you bought something while playing a game with him.
I did, and then like you
Was
walk
that
by and
that
go,
game?
"It's in the library." Yeah, I
You bought a
forgot.
game you were playing? Because I've seen people do that. Is that what you mean?
Not the exact one I was playing, but yes, when I was playing. I
Hold
didn't
on.
like offer them
You
money
were
for the
playing
game I
a
was
game,
playing.
and you took a moment from that game to go, let me buy a different game.
No, it was the
He
game.
meant, somehow he thought you meant he was buying that copy.
I want this game.
As if people do
No,
that.
what are you, a tycoon? What are you talking about? Is it the 1800s?
I didn't know. I
I
was
want
like,
this game, this one here, and the people who made it.
I wanted to clarify. I wasn't sure which way you were going.
Why
So
would you think that?
I don't.
Who does do that?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I'm very
Okay.
thrown off.
So anyway, mine is shop. Of course, games, art, and
This is his number 5 in life.
it is. It really is probably
Oh,
my number
my
1 in
goodness.
life. But it's
Oh my goodness.
art. Again, I agree. Art and upgrades. I love seeing
I can't believe
upgrades.
you combine them.
people
You put
created.
promos by itself.
That's-
So you
that's
like shopping
special.
for everything better than promos.
Promos are free, man.
You put promos as 6.
I like shopping.
You'd
more.
rather spend money.
I
No,
would.
I get it. I get it. No,
Usually
shopping
better.
for stuff is absolutely fun.
It
yeah.
is. It's up. You know, it's like all this.
Do you like the sense of discovery, or do you go prepared?
No, I like discovery too. I'll go for certain things, but like handmade stuff. My daughter, she buys little dolls at West. One of the guys there, like the creepy ones. You've seen them, but it's just it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
it's like the weird stuff. I like to see that.
Yeah.
The handmade things. Kind of feels like you're I don't know you're shopping at Etsy or something, but you get it right now. So anyway, it's really neat. I like that.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
do
the
like it.
upgrades.
All right, my number 5 is something that I enjoy myself personally very much. I don't know how many people are into this. A lot of people seem to be go to conventions because they love that sense of discovery of something brand new. But for me, I like trying to discover or get around to finally playing that game that I missed. That old game
Yes.
that I never got around to playing that passed me by.
Okay, yeah. I like
You know
that.
what I mean? And either
I agree.
somebody's playing it and I'm like, yeah, it is time for me to finally get around to this. I will sit down and learn this game finally after all these years. Or grab it off a shelf if there's a gaming library and then decide to finally learn that thing. But I enjoy that sense of it's kind of like checking off something off a list.
It is.
Even though I don't really keep that list, but it feels that way.
It almost is better at cons because you see people playing it or want to that love the game.
Yeah.
So you get to play it with someone that loves the game, and it's like,
yeah,
this is
well. And if
good.
it's not at a con, I'd have to buy it. I think to
Right.
try it.
Right.
It might be out of print already, or who knows? You know what I mean? But it just feels good to both play something, to be reminded that things don't have to be new to be good, and to fill a hole in my knowledge of games. It kind of pulls a lot of duties. You
Yeah.
know what I mean for me. So
you do a good job at cons. I see you playing older games too.
I do a
I've played-
decent amount of playing older games. 'cause
I've
I
played
do
older
enjoy
games
it.
with you that have been on my list. I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah, I do like to do that. So anyway, yeah, my number 5 is discover something old that I missed the first time around.
My number 5 is a 1/3 crossover with Joey.
Ooh, oh shoot!
I like to shop at board game conventions.
Thank you.
For upgrades, specifically.
so good.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love going to booths. I mean, if you like dice, you're in a really good place. But it's not just dice. I like when I find a booth and they're like, we make this stuff for games. I'm like, ooh. Or sometimes their upgrades are for RPGs. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that, or I want this. I
Those are great.
love hunting this stuff down. I don't know, I just like making my games look pretty.
I agree.
So,
Some
and
are
there's a
so
lot
well
of this.
done. Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah.
Hunting.
All right, so my number 4, and this is I don't plan the games I'm going to play except for if they're one of these style. I have to kind of play, and that is to play an epic game. You know, like I'll be like, you know what, I am playing.
Twilight Inscription with 40 people.
That's the other one, yes, which I think I'm going to try at East again. With like 3 groups of people.
You
Would
said
have
you were
like,
never doing it again.
we're mixing it up a little bit. There were problems, mistakes were made, but
I never heard of this.
Twilight Inscription, you can combine 3 different copies of Twilight Inscription and play it with like 24 people.
And he did.
And I did.
Really?
Yes.
He was weeping by the time it was
Okay,
over.
we should have
How
had,
long was that, honestly? I mean,
it was 2.5 hours. Problem is we should have more people that had played before. It was we didn't have as many teachers as we should have. I'm going to try it again. But anyway, it's doing that, or even it's like Firefly or a game Zaya, a game it does not hit my table very much.
Right.
You know, you get to play it with people that know it and
You
can
literally
jump
pulled
in.
this game out the other night and then put it back on the shelf.
Primal?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Which was good because it was 9 o'clock and I was like, there's
It
no way
was.
Joey's going to get that done.
Yeah, it was not going to happen. But yeah, this is another one. Again, like games like that, I really like getting that big. And of course, if you don't plan these, I won't get these played.
right.
You know, so that's one I do like. I like the big epic games.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, my number 4 is I talked about wandering the gaming space and kind of warming up to gaming, and you guys have both talked about shopping. Well, mine is not so much shopping, though it'll include it. It's wandering the vendor hall. And that might lead to
Yes.
some shopping or it might not, but basically just kind of walking around
Yep.
and seeing what there is to see. Seeing games, big and small, seeing dice, seeing that one booth that sells brushes and paints, and seeing that one booth that makes coasters and earrings. And I'm like, cool, this is wild stuff. There's like a Gen Con especially is a great place to booth walk,
Yeah.
to kind of wander that hall. Because the array of stuff is just wild. Like one of my
insane.
favorite places to go to, it used to be, it's gotten a little worse, but was that big booth that would have old, dead trading card games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just go through there and be like, oh my goodness me, I haven't seen that game since 98. You know what I mean? Like, I love that stuff. And so wandering a vendor hall,
That's it. Yeah.
steeped in the geekiness of it all, is very satisfying to me. So, yeah, my number 4.
My number 4 is the opposite of Hollywood in the sense that last week I was at Origins, and if you want to get your thing signed by a famous person there, you would have to line up at Origins, the famous actors and things, and then pay money.
Yeah.
I like going to game cons because I like meeting game designers. And this has nothing to do really with the sense that we're the Dice Tower and the game designers like to talk to us. They'll talk to anybody.
Yes.
You sit at a table and realize, hey, I'm playing a game with a famous game designer. They'll be at the booth playing. Even if they're famous or not famous, it's just neat because in very few industries do you get to coordinate and talk to the people who make that industry happen.
I agree.
And in a game convention, there's always at least one designer there.
I agree.
There's maybe more than that, and that's really cool. I'll throw in game artists here too, whatever, or publishers. But it's just neat to me that it's almost casual.
It's a more accessible kind
It
of
is.
Very
group.
accessible.
Yeah, yeah. And that picture is awesome, too.
Do you remember that?
I do not actually remember that.
It's King Domino, right?
Yeah, it's King Domino.
Is that the guy in the middle, King Domino?
Yeah, that's the king.
Okay.
And then Bruno Catala and myself, but I don't remember playing that with him.
That was before Z wore hats everywhere.
Maybe, yeah. I remember a couple of games I've played with him, but this is not one I realized I had like demoed with Mr. Katala. That's cool. Yeah. No, I agree. This is really neat, and the industry is very accessible. If you get into it and want to meet so-and-so who makes games, you can go to a big convention, and maybe not even a big one, and do that.
Yeah, because in every regional con, there's probably a game designer who lives in that con, and they'll be there playing, and they're usually not even surrounded by boards of ravenous fans. It's really cool.
Yeah.
No.
Very cool.
All right, my number 3. It's the first time this has come up, but it's a very, very big focus of mine at cons and in life, and that is food. Restaurants and food
There's going to be a
trucks.
crossover for shout.
Oh, yeah. Restaurants and...
This might be Tom's 3 through 1.
This is... And I put with friends, too, because I love going out.
That's good.
That place is great to go out, and They both say they won't try this stuff. They both will try the weird crap.
We are not going to eat that pizza.
Yes, you're going to.
Do we know what it's going to be this year, though? It changes every...
horrible.
I've got it. I'll show it to you. It's nasty.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's last time they'll try it. You had a blue hot dog.
That's
last
different.
year.
I wanted a blue hot
It
dog.
was soaked in Kool-Aid.
What do they do with
They
it?
soak it in Kool-Aid.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
It was a Sonic the Hedgehog hot dog.
Oh, it's rough. But it's
Sonic the Hedgehog.
It was not good.
It's rough. Even like Gen Con does, like a lot of the restaurants kind of theme their menus and all that. But this is fun to do. I will say at West, I went down to the little sports bar they had underneath there. Ended up eating with a couple. They left. Somebody else sat down, and you just sit there. You meet people.
So he ate 6 meals.
I honestly
You just
was
sit there.
there.
People come, they eat, they go.
It
and
happened.
I'm just there all
Then
day.
you feel rude because like they left, they sat down. Like I can't leave when this guy's eating. And it's like, well, it's rude for him to eat and me not have anything.
Till the restaurant closes?
It's a sports bar, man.
never
I'll be
close.
waiting for a while.
Vegas.
This is Vegas,
He's still there
so
in the
I
morning.
should still be there.
What is
Please stop
happening,
coming.
buddy?
Because I'm a
No.
nice person. You can't just leave. You would leave if someone sits down as you're about to
I
leave.
wait till right when they're sitting down. I'm like, ow.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
you're
When
both
I'm done
horrible people.
consuming my meal, I might say, like, hey, it's good to see you.
And then you
And
leave.
then leave, yes.
All right. Well, I don't.
Sequestered there because they sat down?
I wasn't. Okay, I would say how I enjoyed it, but anyway, yeah. So I just like this. I like visiting the restaurants and food trucks. I love food trucks. They're overpriced, yes, but also you never
They're
know.
probably not overpriced in the sense that they probably have to charge.
No,
that
no,
much to keep
agree.
them,
Yeah.
but they're very expensive.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
more
yeah,
expensive than
yeah.
a normal restaurant.
Okay, so my number 3 is slightly, it's a bit of an overlap there with yours.
It's called
Huh?
snacks.
It's, no, it's focused on like, I think I said Friends Reunion or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's that feeling, that thing of,
Yep.
Ah,
good.
baby.
God, I missed it. I'm like, what, is he clapping? Oh, no, Friends. Getting together with people you haven't seen in a year. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
pull that picture back up.
It's that feeling of like, hey, so-and-so, I haven't seen you in a while, probably a year since the last time this event happened.
All right, that's cool. Sorry.
And I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy, and then again, like
Me
you
too.
said, like get into a game again, or
Yep.
let's do a rematch of that thing, or
Yep.
oh, I said I was going to teach you whatever, but I didn't get around to. I'm probably not going to get around to it this year either. Maybe next year.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I enjoy that. People like conventions, especially the smaller conventions, I think, like Dice Toweries and that kind of convention, they become convention friends.
Yes.
Even if you don't necessarily stay in touch throughout the year, you'll go back and be like, hey, and you reconnect with that like convention family or friends.
That
you
is
know what I
really
mean?
cool. Yep.
And so I like that a lot. Seeing people again.
You get called out sometimes. People are like, you said last time that we would play the G.I. Joe deck building game together or
Yeah.
whatever. And they're
No,
like,
that's just you.
yeah, like, I did say that. So he jumped
Well,
in. or
you
whatever.
commit to like everything, Joe. You
I
know
do.
that.
this
gotta
is
be more
this is
ambiguous.
more of
You
a.
gotta be like
How's it all
Randy.
turn into me? I want to get like a community response. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
No, but that's a good one.
My number 3 is a direct crossover with Joey, but I just said eat.
That's hilarious.
No, but I do get excited because when I go to cons, it's usually
Wow, what cons do you go to?
Man,
This
let's
is-
go.
This is Tom's green room of every con he's invited
wow.
That's so
Wow.
exciting. I'm so jealous of whoever has that food. But
That is not a board gaming convention.
to. No.
whenever we go to a con, it's usually in a different city.
Yep.
Somewhere else. I like trying foods in different countries and cities. And when I come back, it's one of the things I talk about the most. I'm sorry. I
know.
I like to eat. I don't. Most people do, and you can find some pretty neat places that you don't have in your hometown. That's why I
agree.
going to cons, and it is a good way to spend time with people. That you're not playing a board game. You're just sitting back. I very rarely eat by myself at a con. I always go find somebody to go out to eat with. I have eaten by myself. Sometimes you need that
Sarah
focus.
McLachlan song, yeah.
But then you're not eating at a nice place either. Usually then you're just eating a sandwich in a corner or something.
That's happened a lot, yeah.
But it's one of my favorite things about going to cons. I get excited. We're going to Orlando next week.
Yep.
Orlando has some cool places to eat. I have
It
a
does.
couple places already on my schedule that I'm going to eat at.
100%.
Oh, you can eat lobster. Yeah.
I've not been there yet.
Oh, you should go.
You should go. You want to go?
Okay.
You can come with us.
All right, this one is specific and general, I guess.
It's more G.I. Joe deck building.
It
Here we
is
go.
not,
Yeah.
which I'm so glad I played that, by the way. So
Yeah, I
he
saw
made
you
me play it.
What was the one game you played one time? No, that was you who got stuck in a game that was like 4 hours.
Oh, it's happened a couple of times.
You're giving me a hard time. All right, this is, I like to find things that are unique to that con. Certain cons have little things that have for them. Like, of course, Dice Tower has the panels, the top 10s, and all that. You know, Gen Con has like the big balloon creation, go to see that card holla, and things like that. Every con has like some little twist that they do there, right? So that's what I like to find. Things that the con's kind of known for, right? So I like to find those at various places. Gen Con, or unique that year. One year we got into a Funkoverse tournament, And by the way, got the finals, lost every game. But our team was called the Girl Dads. So they were like, aw. So we lost every game, but they could choose one team to advance. They kept choosing us to advance. We lost every game.
That's pretty good, buddy. Yeah, work
like-
that system, man.
I know.
Go for that pity vote.
It was.
Wow.
So
Is it
Your
because,
children
like,
to get free Funko stuff?
they were, aw. Yeah, we didn't get anything. We didn't win. Because, again, we didn't win any games. But we got the finals.
Okay,
But
interesting.
anyway, so it's neat to find that kind of unique thing to that con, right? So anyway, that's my number 3. Two. Yes. Yeah, so, yep.
All right, my number.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say AEG Big Game Night I enjoy too. That's when you play the same game with 400 people in the Cold Stadium, and it's pretty cool. So we all played, what's the horribly named game with the cube?
Guild of Merchant Explorers.
Guild of Merchant
something like
Explorers.
that. Yeah.
We played like 400 people, and they had like the ring person holding the card up, walking
Really?
around, and everyone is doing the same thing.
Yeah, that stuff is fun.
It's pretty neat, And they
That's
do
like that's like a convention game.
It's a
almost.
convention
That's
game,
like that thing you
'cause-
can't do at home.
Yeah, we're all playing the same. The GM's walking around, so that's kind of a neat little thing like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2 is very simple. It's going to a flea market if they have a flea market. Oh my goodness,
Yes.
do I love flea markets?
You really
Yes.
I really do. I don't know what it is. It brings out the Kenny in me.
Have you been thrifting now that we're here in a good thrift store land?
Well, I went because of looking for things for the new set,
Yeah, he
but
got the
not
burgers.
really.
You got that burger.
I did get that burger for you, burger
Yeah.
and fries,
That's
baby.
true. You got me this
And I got
amazing
a vase.
ceramic burger.
Yes.
Right.
I'm very happy with it.
Use it. Put
That was
it
the one
back
thing
in.
you
It's on the
showed around.
microwave.
It is on the microwave. No one sees the microwave. Are we doing streams from the microwave
Not
now?
yet.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Today, watch what I put in.
Oh my goodness! Somebody would tune in for that to make fun of us. You eat that? You guys are so unhealthy.
Check
Yeah.
this-
Anyway, flea market for me, I love them. I like the energy. I like the. Yeah, sure. You get a good deal on a good game every now and then, but I just walk around them and I love looking at what's going on in there. You know what it is? A big part of it is I think seeing a game that I haven't seen or thought of in like 8 years. I think is part of it. I'm like, oh, that's whatever.
agree.
Whatever game.
I
Wow.
know.
I like that thing. I don't know. I enjoy that. So yeah, flea markets.
Remember Dice Tower Flea Market one year, I bought way too much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
It happens if you get going,
You do, yeah.
then it's like, sure, another $5, sure.
Because the prizes are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good.
My number 2, I like to do it at every con that I go to, and this is simply I love to teach games. I really do. I love teaching games. I especially love teaching old games that people have never played them before, but I don't mind. If there's a new game that I like I will teach it 30 times in a row because I just love that. I love seeing people enjoy a game.
Yeah.
Teaching a game feels like you're doing a sales pitch, but a good one. And you're not being a jerk. Like, look at this new vacuum cleaner. But it's funny because if people don't know who you are, I was saying at Origins, I want to teach people games, and I'd be like, hey, does everyone play this game? I'm not the designer. I'm not the publisher. I just want to play this game with you. Because I have to say that because they think you're trying to sell something. I'm not. I just want to show you a good game.
Yeah.
And I love doing this, and I will teach all day long. I don't care if I play games at a con. If I can teach them, I have a great time.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, it can't be food because we already hit that for number 3.
Oh, you're never going to guess this one.
What is this?
You had hanging out with me and Z.
No.
That'd be a really nice one. We'd all end up hugging on the
My
show.
number 11. No, my number 1 is I honestly like meeting new people. I like playing games with new people. I like seeing the people there. And really, it's one of those things when you meet someone anywhere outside of a con, like a gaming con, you always have to feel like, do I have any common interest with this person?
Okay.
Normally at gaming cons, you do. Now, there are some side steps from that that's not true. When you sit there and have a conversation, you're like, apparently, we don't have that much common ground. But normally, these are people that you can get along with, play games. And again, this creates the environment, like you say, you see the friends every year.
Right.
So the people you meet that come every year, you look forward to seeing them again and again, and your circle gets wider. The more you play games with people, meet people. I enjoy that, And again, like smaller cons, it's easier. I've probably met so few people at cons like Gen Con and whatever, But the smaller Dice Tower things are where you actually have the more intimate meet and greets and you get to meet people. So this is a more smaller con thing, but this is one of my favorite parts of it. It keeps you going back too, right? It's kind of like being missed, When you have a friend that says, oh, you're not going this year? Aw. It kind of makes you feel good,
Yeah.
Because you always hate the fact you're not going anyway, and the fact you're missed, people like that.
Feels a little better, right?
It does. Yeah. So anyway, I love meeting new people.
All right, well, my number 1 is seeing Pete Shirey and Mike Heller and giving them both a big bear hug, apparently. That's for you guys. There you go.
Pretty pathetic.
That's what they're both saying. They're like,
Pandering.
oh,
They
yeah,
were, I
Zee,
know.
Can't wait to hug me. That's probably true. No, my
Not a
number 1 is
hugger.
very simple. You already said it. Teaching, but it's not teaching anything. It's teaching one of my favorite games to people. I love to do that.
Well,
I
I usually I usually don't teach games I don't like.
But my pool is very small.
The second time, Chris. The first time, yes.
Yeah,
I'll teach
that's
you
fair.
plenty of games.
No, you are good at teaching games, and you do it a lot. And it might be something you haven't played. That's the thing.
Sure, I'm not counting. When I'm teaching, I'm talking about a game I love.
Yeah.
I like to show people something that I think is fun, and I know you'll like. I hope.
Yeah, right. So I think this is then a crossover with you, and for me, it's teaching one of my favorite games. Teaching Abyss. I've taught Abyss at every convention I can think of that I've gone to in the last 3 years. It comes out every time. I teach it at East. I teach it on the cruise. I teach it at West. I teach it at least once at every one of these. 51st State, same thing. Marvel United, I don't teach a whole lot because people play it. I think it's so easy that people have figured it out, and it's very out there. The other two, not as much. But yeah, I love to do that. I love to be because you wander sometimes up and down the aisle or the library trying to figure out what to play.
Right.
And eventually, if I don't find something pretty quick, I'm just like, forget this, man. I'm grabbing a favorite and I'm teaching it to somebody.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
And it just feels good to revisit that and to hopefully, like you're saying, see that love that I have for that thing sparked in somebody else, or appreciation at least. You know. It really makes me happy.
It's a good one.
All right, my number 1 is pretty much a crossover with Joey, and that is I like talking to people. I really do. When we meet people at cons, it's always like, hey, how are you? I'm from here. Where are you from? How, yada, yada. People may or may not say they like the Dice Tower. But then I like going beyond that, just talking to people. It's fun. I meet people from all over the world that I sometimes forget. Because sometimes it happens. They'll say, "Oh, we met at Gen Con." But the more I talk to you, the longer I talk to you, the more I'll remember and get to know you as a person. And
That's always
I don't mind. I don't play as many games at cons as I could because I end up talking so much. But I enjoy it. I just like hanging out with people because it feels like you're hanging out with friends. And for a lot of people who are watching this, a lot of you are introverts people. And I know this is a tough thing. You go to a con, you don't know people, but it happens. You just spend some time with people. You talk to them. Pretty soon, you'll go back and look for those people.
Yeah.
You know, it is awkward. I really hate networking events where you walk in a
I
room
do too.
and you don't know anybody, and everyone there is selling something.
Everyone's
or selling
got an
themselves.
angle.
Right? They got an
Yes.
angle. At a con, yes, there are people with angles. They're called publishers. But if
Right.
you avoid them, there's people there. They're just there to play games and have a good time.
Yeah, right.
I agree.
And that's all they want to do, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah. I guess that is a big thing
Look,
here.
I'm dressed like that in the picture too.
Everyone,
It's
but you
that
always
thing.
wear
It's
that
true.
shirt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. This is the shirt I wear the most.
Yeah, those pictures are all from today. So,
We did a
say
big
that.
photo shoot earlier.
yeah, that's a good one.
Alrighty, well, thank you everybody for watching. Look, a lot of these things we'll be dealing with next week at Dice Tower East, and then in a month at Gen Con after that.
Yep.
So stuff on the way. But we still have lots of other videos going up over this weekend. We have reviews, the new Lord of the Rings game, and other games. All sorts of games will get reviewed this week. So keep an eye out from that. We'll have a few videos going up during Dice Tower East, but not a ton because we're concentrating on running the convention. But if you're upset about the lack of new content, I bet you haven't watched everything on the Dice Tower.
That's right.
True.
There's so much of a backlog of content. Go check it out. And if you change your mind in Orlando and you want to come, we do have tickets at the door. So, and then you can eat with us.
100%. Play games, do all the things. Do all 30 things you heard about.
Yes, and you can have the Beverly Coke Pete's talking about at Orlando too.
Yeah.
That's true. It's not my Gamma in Vegas. It's in Orlando.
It's in
at
Orlando.
Disney Springs.
Drinks in
Get
Beverly. It's great.
Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Hi.
Beverly.
It's nasty.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our LinkTree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.